I'll be done. Alright. It's not going to clear without some modifications first, so we definitely need to move our cables temporarily so we can get things where they need to be. I might only have to snap one of these. Alright, so problem number one is the width of this is too much. You're going to need to get yourself a plate in order to fill that gap on the other side. It's close, but it's not going to cinch down without another plate on the back. So I'm going to have to make another plate similar to this, just without a beveled edge. But let's see if we can bolt it up just to see what it would look like. Alright, to fill this, give me the space I need, I just got myself a chunk of wood and I stuffed it in there. One thing I might do in the future is section this out and just run the cable around. So you get yourself a little extra cable care package here. Because it is deep enough that you could run both your cables through safely. But right now I think I have enough that I can bite it and it's going to be a good piece of wood. So let's find that out. Alright, these bolts are in a pretty thin work environment there. So you might have to find some creative ways to tighten them. If you have little wrenches, you could probably get in there. You might have to find some creative ways to tighten. One thing you can do is take this one off and have yourself a little bit more room to work with here. And of course, you always want to be careful with your brake and your hub motor power source, because that's the last thing you want to do is damage these cables or cut into your brake lines and have a bad day. But I found a cheap old wrench that I had lying around that's a 10mm, and that got in there and was able to give me the pressure I needed. Alright, on to the next problem. Right now we just snugged it up so we can make sure everything's going to work right. It's debatable whether I want it to stick out a little further. I actually got to test the pedals too, because that could be an issue. But let's start with the basics. It folds up nice and out of the way. It's not going to hit anywhere. You're going to clear up this room here, so you won't be bottoming out on this platform here. You're pushing your bar up to here. And now I have another solution here because there's another problem. Before this is just a bolt plug and play solution. All right. Okay. I'll make sure we clear pedals. Ooh, it's so close. Okay, you're going to be able to clear pedals just barely. It is nicking a little bit on this one, the spring itself, so if you're a guy who likes to pedal, you're probably going to have to push this back a little bit further. But that's, you know, it's adjustable, so keep that in mind. Or if you have another set of pedals that aren't these wide, then you probably won't hit it all. Now here's the biggest problem, is that this kickstand was made for a taller bike. Even with 18s on the back, it's not enough to get off the ground, and honestly the foot is not mounted in the right direction, so I do have another solution for that also came in the same package. This is a shorty foot that's going to take about 2 inches off the height, and it should give us the clearance that we need to make this work. So let's see if it's going to work. don't know if you can read that, but it says 30 centimeter or 18 point. Whew. I don't know if you can read that, but it says 30 centimeter or 11.8 inch kickstand. Dirt bike, pit bike. That's a pretty tall pit bike. Let's see if it works. So here's this light shorter boy. He's got similar head structure, so he should just snap into the right place. Hardest part about this job is probably the spring, so let's get to it. This is going to force it to spin upwards, so we want to hook it to the farther one. Let's redo it again. Do the hustle. All right. It's close, but it's going to require the strength of men to make it happen. Ooh, it's starting to come loose too. Okay. Oh, that's a bomb. Whew, okay. So in order for this to sit right, this plate's off, I think. This might not be an easy solution. So let's take a look how close we are. All right, it will balance on its own. But I think before it's done, I want to take a little bit of this off right here. Just grind it a little bit more so it's turned flush. Because right now it's not bent enough to really grab. I think it's got enough bite on the back. Just a matter of putting a spring on the back side there. And then we're done.
The next day.
All right, here's what we're at. I grinded down the spring catch on this side just so there's more clearance. We got plenty of room to pedal now. That's not going to interfere. Here's our new shorter stand. It's sitting upright and pretty cozy. I got the spring attached on the back side here. I'm actually using one of the bolts to hold it in place. And with that, we're done. You kick it up, kick it down. It's a kickstand. Kick it up, kick it down. It's a kickstand. And we're ready to go on the next project. I wish return spring was a little bit better. And I gotta do some riding to see if it's going to be stable or not. But other than that, we're good to go.